Pick up a chocolate bar. $2, maybe $3. Now find the farmer who grew the beans inside it somewhere in West Africa and hand them their cut. On average, they get about 6%, 6 cents on a dollar bar. The person who grew the one ingredient that makes it chocolate at all is the cheapest part of the whole thing. And you will never see that number because it is not printed anywhere on the wrapper. And you assume that is just how farming works. The little guy at the bottom gets squeezed. Only that is not the story. And it is not even the strangest part of what is hiding in your hand. Because the 6% is not an accident of poverty. It is the first clue that the chocolate bar in your hand is not really a chocolate business at all. It is 3 other businesses wearing a candy wrapper, and every one of them is designed so that the chocolate itself is the least valuable thing in the room. By the end of this video, you will see the 3 machines hiding inside that wrapper. A commodity trading desk where the real money is made betting on the price of cocoa, not selling it. A shrinking substituting margin machine quietly engineering the actual chocolate out of your chocolate. And an empire so strange that one of the biggest candy companies on earth is controlled by a children's charity, and another makes more money from your pets than from your sweet tooth. The candy is the costume. Let me show you what is underneath. Start with the bean, because before it is a treat, cocoa is a commodity, traded like oil or gold. And lately, it has been the wildest ride on the market. Here is what almost nobody eating a chocolate bar realizes. Cocoa does not have a price the way a candy bar does. It has a price that moves every second, set by traders in London and New York who will never touch a cocoa pod. And in December of 2024, that price did something insane. It hit an all-time record of nearly $13,000 a ton. To put that in perspective, for years cocoa sat around $2,000 to $3,000. It went up 4 to 5 times over in months. A crop failure in West Africa, a virus in the trees, and a swarm of speculators turned the humble cocoa bean into one of the hottest trades on the planet. And then it did the other insane thing. It crashed. By early 2026, it had fallen back toward 5,000, whipsawing violently the entire way down. If that sounds less like a farm crop and more like a meme stock, that is exactly the point. Cocoa is now an asset, and the people who win are not the ones who grow it or the ones who eat it. They are the ones who bet on it correctly, which is why the candy companies stopped acting like candy companies. In early 2025, Hershey, the maker of your favorite bar, went to a financial regulator and asked for special permission to buy more than 90,000 tons of cocoa contracts, far above the normal limit. Read that again. A chocolate company was trying to corner a slice of the futures market like a hedge fund, and the middlemen who actually grind the beans, giants like Barry Callebaut, got margin calls. That is Wall Street for pay up right now or lose your seat at the table. Theirs jumped roughly 9 times over, and they had to borrow billions just to keep grinding beans. When the people who make the chocolate are sweating the trading screen more than the recipe, you are not looking at a dessert. You are looking at a commodities desk with a chocolate logo. But the trading floor is only the first machine. Because no matter which way the bean price swings, the company selling you the bar has a second trick, one you can hold in your own hand, and most people never notice it happening. Think about the last time a chocolate bar felt a little smaller than you remembered. You were not imagining it. The classic example is Toblerone. Back in 2016, to avoid raising the price, the company widened the gaps between the triangles, literally putting more air in the bar, and shrank it from 400 grams to 360. Same wrapper, same price, less chocolate. They only reversed it after people got angry enough to complain to their own parliament. That is called shrinkflation. And across the industry, the bars have been quietly getting smaller for years while the price holds or climbs. But shrinking the bar is the gentle version. The darker trick is swapping out the chocolate itself. Real chocolate needs cocoa butter, the expensive part of the bean. So to save money, some makers replace it with cheap vegetable oil. You cannot taste the switch. And here is the catch that gives the whole game away. By law, once you do that, you are not allowed to call it chocolate anymore. In the United States, it legally becomes, quote, chocolate candy. It happened for real. Around 2008, Hershey quietly changed the labels on several classic products, Mr. Good Bar, Crackle, Milk Duds, from milk chocolate to chocolate candy, because they had cut the cocoa butter. They did not shrink the bar or raise the price that time. They just took the chocolate out of the chocolate. Add it all up and the math is brutal. On a 50-gram bar, the actual cocoa might cost around 15 cents. Half the bar is sugar. The rest of what you pay is packaging, marketing, shipping, and 2 layers of profit. The chocolate really is the cheapest part of the chocolate bar, so who is collecting all that margin? This is where it gets genuinely strange, because the third business is not a business you can buy a share of. It is a fortress. Meet Milton Hershey. In 1900, he sold his caramel company for $1 million and bet everything on a wild new idea: mass-produced milk chocolate for ordinary people. It worked beyond anyone's dreams. He built an entire town around the factory, named it after himself, and because he and his wife never had children, he did something almost unheard of. He gave nearly his entire fortune, including control of the company, to a school for orphans. He died in 1945. And here is the part that should stop you. That school still controls Hershey today. A charitable trust for a few thousand students holds only about a quarter of the shares, but nearly 80% of the voting power, which means one of the largest candy companies in the world cannot be bought, cannot be rated, and cannot be sold because a children's charity holds the keys. In 2002, the trust actually tried to sell the company, and a Pennsylvania court stepped in and blocked it. Twice, giant rivals have tried to buy Hershey, and twice they have been turned away. And if Hershey is a fortress, its great rival is a ghost. Mars, the family behind Snickers, M&M's, and Milky Way, is one of the largest private companies in America, and it answers to no public shareholders at all. The family fortune is estimated north of $100 billion, but you will never see their books because they do not have to show them. And here is the twist almost nobody knows. Mars makes more money from pets than from candy. It is quietly one of the biggest pet care companies on Earth, owning thousands of veterinary clinics, and pet care is now a bigger slice of its business than all its chocolate and gum combined. In late 2025, it spent $36 billion buying the maker of Pringles and Pop-Tarts. The company you think of as a chocolate maker is really a sprawling secret conglomerate that happens to also sell you a candy bar. 5 companies control almost the entire chocolate aisle, and the 2 most powerful ones never have to answer to anyone. So what could actually crack a machine this well built? There is really only one thing, and it is already knocking. For all their power, every one of these giants is trapped by the same bean. If cocoa stays expensive, the margin machine seizes up, and Hershey has already watched its profit margin get crushed as its cheap hedges ran out. That is why the strangest players in this story are the startups now racing to make chocolate with no cocoa at all, growing it in labs or from other plants. And notice who is quietly funding some of them: the chocolate giants themselves, hedging against their own core ingredient because they know the bean that built the empire could also break it. But do not expect the machine to fall. The trust cannot be bought, the family will not sell, and every time the price of a bar goes up, you buy it anyway. The demand is that sticky. You are not addicted to a company. You are addicted to a feeling, and they own the feeling. So here is the only question that actually matters. Now that you can see all 3 machines, the trading desk, the shrinking bar, and the fortress that owns the shelf, what do you do the next time you are standing at the checkout? Do you flip the bar over, read the word chocolate candy, notice the smaller size, and put it back? Or do you buy it anyway because it is $2 and it is right there and you already know exactly how it is going to make you feel? Be honest. Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know.